Hey guys, welcome back once again because you are right now going to be once again with a very beautiful independent artist who has actually completed up even her in designing. So we're going to be have someone who is learning music, making music, creating music, and even the pandemic has blessed her for writing down her own music. So who am I with Stu today? Let's have it on board with us. So hi, would you love to introduce yourself, please?
Hi everyone, I'm Frizzell D'Souza. I'm a singer-songwriter from Bangalore. Thank you so much, Nisha, for having me on. I'm excited to do this.
Wow. So, Fraser, tell me something. The first thing what we want to really know is about how was your childhood like? Were you the person who was inspired by the music all around you because being in a Bangalore city, or like was it something like you were just developing the sense of music with the gradual as you were aging?
So I was born and brought up in Bangalore. I moved to Bangalore much later for college, and I grew up in a family that was surrounded by music. Not in the sense that my parents were musicians, but my dad loved listening to music. He was a doctor in the Navy, so I remember he would bring all of these cassettes and CDs from all over the world, in fact, and he would play these in his car at home, and I think that's when I really sort of fell in love with music. I also learned the violin. My sister learned the piano growing up. And yeah, eventually I moved to college. I started doing my own thing. I started making YouTube videos of, covers of my favorite songs. And eventually, during the pandemic, I started writing my own stuff. And that led me here.
Absolutely amazing. In fact, to know that you've got that a person from the armed forces actually has so much culture to bring out to you. And in fact, the way they've been traveling our parents, we've been lucky enough by actually getting all the cultures being tapped upon us somewhere or the other. So, if I had to ask you about your favorite genre of music, what would that really be of your childhood days?
For my childhood days, it would probably be anything around the retro classics. I love listening to Michael Jackson. He was one of my biggest idols back then. Anything around, the Beatles, the Bee Gees, Elton John, Eric Clapton, all of those guys. I love listening to them, and I still do, of course.
I do still remember that, I had one of those golden CDs of Michael Jackson's, and that was one of the most biggest thing that I really wanted to have with me. So after we developed from the Walkman to the CD man, that was one of the fetish things that we could actually have for ourselves. So it was that
For sure.
reminded me of those days. But if I had to ask you, who is Frizzell in, like who is she as a girl? What is basically the characteristics that define you? How would you say about that?
I'm still figuring it out myself. But I guess when I was younger, I was probably a lot more introverted. And that came out in many different ways to people. Probably someone with an attitude, or someone who is a little too reserved. Um, but I think once I started performing music, I definitely became a little more open, a little more social. And I was always an artsy kid. I loved painting, I loved drawing, and I eventually studied architecture for about 5 years. I just graduated last year. So I still have my love for design, and I feel like I can describe myself as someone who is got one foot in like everything. I love painting, I love singing, I also like dancing. I was into sports as a kid. So yeah, I like exploring multiple things. That's who I hope to continue being. Shut it down right away.
Amazing. But with that, we would actually love to know and would love to have the audiences know about your songs, in fact. So, would you love to sing a beautiful song for us?
This is a song called Busy Loving You, and it's the first one from the EP. Here's how it goes. On some days when I wake up, I admire you so. With you by my side, there's nothing else on my mind. You're the sunshine to my rainbows. You're the melody to my songs. I could just pause this moment and watch you all day long. 'Cause even if I had nothing in the world to do, I'd be busy, busy loving. I'd be busy loving you. And even if I've had the hardest times of my life, you pause this moment and watch you all day long. 'Cause even if I had nothing in the world to do, I'd be busy, busy loving. I'd be busy loving you. And even if I've had the hardest times of my life, you make it easy, oh easy loving. You make it easy loving you.
Sweet was that. All right. But tell us about the time when you actually said that, you started putting the cover versions of your different songs, basically, what you really loved on the YouTubes in the early days. So, what really motivated you to do that?
So I think I picked up music during college, during my breaks. So architecture was quite a demanding course. And so I would very often take like 20, 30-minute breaks during my work, every week, and just sort of sit down and play some songs that I like. And there was this YouTube artist from the Philippines. Her name is Renee Dominic. I loved the way she made her own renditions of, all of these retro classics, and she made beautiful videos of them and put them up on YouTube. And I think that sort of inspired me to start finding my own sound.
Absolutely. But do you really think that, these days that you also have a pressure of getting up a proper video to your song? Or you think that even if you get a good song, a lyrical video also helps you to get your audiences?
Um, so I think the way that people have begun consuming content has drastically changed over the past 5 or 6 years, because longer format videos were preferred, a little while ago. But right now, considering everyone's attention spans and the way Instagram and YouTube have sort of started pushing shorts and reels, I feel like that sort of content is more preferred. So video content for sure is something that artists need to have almost in this day and age to promote their music, because it's not just the audio format that we listen to, it's also the visuals that are sort of more in demand. So for sure, but I honestly don't think there's much of a difference between lyric videos or music videos. Music videos for sure garner more attention, but as long as you have some sort of a visual content to put up, that helps your reach and engagement for sure.
Okay. So, do you find that pressure on you that that the 10-second rule, which is there to grab attention of the people, and you create the songs now, or you write the songs that it has to have a proper hook so that people accept it at the first go itself? Are you just one of person that you really don't take those pressures on you?
Sometimes I do feel the pressure, because I need to get people to listen to my songs, and I've got to grab their attention in like the first 3 or 8 seconds. That pressure is always there, but at the same time, there's this other side of me that says, don't compromise the integrity of your art and just sort of stick true to what the song means and all of that. So I think it's a constant battle between the two.
That's
For
true.
everyone.
That's true. So, your EP, The Hills Have You, was listed at the 10 best EPs of 2022 by the Rolling Stone India, in fact. And you, after hearing this, must have been on the moon. So, how was that experience for you when you got to know that, gosh, I am in the top 10 list?
Oh gosh, I was ecstatic because um, 2022 was not only my first year of performing live, but um, I think it was just like a year or two since I started writing my own music and putting myself out there. So naturally, I was a very intimidated musician in the industry. I always considered myself very new. Just so to see my name and my EP, The Hills Know of You, up there was something I would never expect in like a million years to happen in the second year of just putting music out. Um, yeah, I think I almost screamed when I saw that. But yeah, at the same time, I'm really grateful because I was put up there with a bunch of really seasoned and talented musicians. It was amazing. I think I'm really, really grateful for that.
But currently, the songs which you're actually right now bringing up, which is very different from the older songs which you actually got for us. So this shift has happened because of the lockdown that you now become more settled and you have more things to talk about.
Definitely. I think when I first started putting out my music, I was still sort of exploring, what my sound could be, and I didn't have anything particular to say. I was just putting out music for the heck of it. And I had a bunch of friends helping me out in terms of production and all of that. But I think eventually, when I started very intentionally thinking about my EP and what I wanted to say, I had a lot of time to myself to sort of figure out what felt most natural to me in terms of, the kind of songs I was writing and the kind of music I was playing on my guitar. Um, so that in that sense, I feel like the EP truly was, the most honest sense of Frizzell D'Souza you could see so far. And I'll stand true to that. It really was.
Okay. So with that, we would love to have the audiences coming up with another song of yours. So which will be your now next song for all of us?
I'd love to play a song called Maybe Tomorrow. This one is something I wrote when I was not feeling at my best. So the song is kind of about coping with being at your lowest point and hoping that tomorrow will be a better day.
I'm running out of breath when I haven't run at all. I'm struggling to wake up when I haven't slept at all. 'Cause I'm just an empty soul lurking in a crowded room. Mm-hmm. 'Cause maybe tomorrow will be better. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up. Yeah, please leave the lights out for me. 'Cause maybe I won't wake up at all. They said don't play around with it. They said don't play around. So I told myself, and I fell prey to my nemesis. 'Cause I'm just an empty soul lurking in a crowded room. Maybe 'cause maybe tomorrow will be better. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up. Yeah, please leave the lights out for me. 'Cause maybe I won't wake up at all. Or maybe I won't wake up at all. Maybe I won't wake up at all.
That's amazing, Giselle. So you really are a talented person altogether and a
I
creative
think I
person
was
perhaps
just,
in the life.
I was, yeah, for sure.
For sure. So when you were during your college days, like was it that someone that you really aspired to become like, or you had a person in the mind like, oh God, this kind of a music really appeals to me, and someday I'm going to be looking up to him and or her or turning up similar the way how they are. So did you have some kind of emotions like that with any specific singer?
Yeah, I think I had two or three. So the first one was Ed Sheeran. And specifically because he was the artist, he was the kind of artist who would be up on stage in front of like thousands of people with just him, his guitar and his songs. And that was something that I really, really looked up to because I saw myself in him. Although I was like a little girl sitting in a little city halfway across the world, I was someone, with her guitar and with her songs. And I really aspired to be that. And there was also Renee Dominic who was doing the same with her covers, with her guitar and ukulele. And then I discovered this artist called Lizzie McAlpine in the lockdown. And she had this beautiful voice, and she was writing such honest songs. And I think I related to so much of what she was doing. And I feel like that really influenced my EP because I was listening to a lot of her music. So yeah, Ed Sheeran, I think, tops the list.
Absolutely. So, if you say like, do you love playing live in front of the audiences, or you are still a person who says Instagram live is much a better option?
Oh, yeah, I think in-person lives are so much better. But I started everything on my Instagram lives. I didn't even have a proper experience of playing in front of real people. I feel like for the most part of 2020 and 2021, I played online shows, and that had its own fun. But I think the first time I played an in-person performance, it felt so electric. There's nothing like it.
So, do you now also have a small kind of all those podcasts to be done onto yourself? Ki now, if I do this, my show is going to go good and my gig is going to be great. Oh, yeah, like, okay, if I just give yourself a tight hug and say, oh, everything is going to be okay, I'm going to rock this show. How do you deal with it?
I think a little bit of both. But yeah, it's more of talking to myself a little before the show, kind of see what the crowd is like and what the crowd will enjoy. And at the same time, if things aren't going well, I try and tell myself it's okay, just do what you're best at and try and enjoy it yourself first and foremost, and then the crowd will join in.
Okay. So, with that, we would love to ask and know you, is there another song which you would love to share with us, which is of yours, and a small story behind it too?
I would love to sing this song called Drown Away, which I wrote in 2020. And the song is about my traditions with my family. We'd sort of drive up to Goa from Bangalore every single year since I was a kid. So maybe we've done this about 23 times. And during the pandemic, we weren't able to do this. And I just sort of wrote this as a little ode to my love-hate relationship with water because I'm a beach girl. I love being on the beach. And we weren't able to go in 2020. So this is a song that I wrote as a little ode to Goa.
Riding down in that old Chevrolet. Oh, I had a dream of a little girl laughing all her worries away. She had curls in her hair and wore tight little shorts and was scared of the water. She didn't know why. She held mama's hand and everything was okay. And she said, Mama, don't let me drown away, drown away, drown away. Mama, don't let me drown away, drown away, drown away. Ooh, ooh. Riding down in that old gray Ford, she saw trees running back and forth and wondered why the sun would stay there. Oh, it was cooler on the hills but closer to the sun. Questions to ask and she didn't know why. She held mama's hand and everything was okay. And she said, Mama, don't let me drown away, drown away, drown away. Mama, don't let me drown away, drown away, drown away. Ooh,
I'm sure about this. It must be so exciting that you've almost been 24 to 25 times to go. And driving down has a different experience altogether. You keep on jamming with beautiful songs on the way there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true.
So
So, if I had to ask, like, what is Frizzell going to be doing in the next 5 years from now? What would that really be doing?
I would love to ask myself that question, and I would love to give myself the answer. But I think the most exciting bit is not knowing. Of course, I'd love to, keep putting out more music, collaborate with musicians, hopefully tour across the country, all of those things. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just trying to take it one step at a time and figure out everything.
Oh, wow. With this, we would love to request and one last song from you, in fact, Frizzell, for all the audiences of ours. Which would that really be?
Then I would love to do the first song that I ever put out. This one's called New.
One time that you held me in your arms, 5 times a kiss on my lips is what I should have got. 2 seconds into our first dance, 3 swirls and 1 dip is what we should have done. 'Cause it feels like we've been saying the same things we don't mean. So let's keep on moving and try to trace back our old feet. 'Cause I need something new, like freshly brewed coffee on a white winter's morning with you. Oh, I need something new, like the smell of your perfume from the time that I first met you.
That's awesome.
Wow, so beautiful. So thank you so much, Frizzell, for actually being with us. And I'm sure that this year, 2023, is going to be a year what you really wanted and desired for. So we really hope the best for you, Frizzell.
Thank you so much for having me on. This has been a very fun chat.